Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racers Driving League for Season 15. Round number 9 of the Championship here at the soaking Canadian Grand Prix circuit. Gilles Villeneuve and the heavens have truly opened here for the start of qualifying. 16 cars here taking on the circuit for the first laps of this session. The 9th round of the Championship here in Season 15. It's another exciting chapter in the Championship fight that awaits us. As I say that, in terms of the two leaders, Sniper Hunter, who is in the race, and Mr. TJ, who isn't here as it stands. Unsure if we'll be seeing him later on in the session. We've got a few who will be joining later on. We also had the return of Grumio, who will be joining us later in the session. 62 points off the top as it stands. I have never seen him come back from this far behind. If he wants to win this championship, he's going to take a lot of work. It could still happen. We're not at the halfway mark of the season just yet. But as of right now, Sniper Hunter leads by 4 points of Mr. TJ. It's 20 points separating Sniper from C110P fan, the Mercedes. So there is your championship leader on his outlap for his first flying run. Only car on a lap right now, or two cars on a run, sorry. Daniel Aaron in the first sector. Lucky Lambert just started sector 2. A rumble with him in the new, or the limited time Ferrari. Laying his way down what would have been the DRS straight. Full wets on that car. It's a bit of a split so far between who's taking what. Makes his way now down towards the hairpin. Onto the brakes there. Of course, braking's done a lot earlier on in the entry to the corner, given the nature of the weather. Oh, he's almost lost the car on the exit. That could be a poor start to his third and final sector. Down the third DRS straight he goes. 3 of them on this circuit. And towards the final corner into the Wall of Champions. Hoping Lucky avoids that. Very slow through the chicane. Coming towards the line to the first lap of the session here. It's a 1 minute 24.1. Down off the final corner. Can he match that at all? He can't match it. If you're 1 minute 25 here, 0.7. So down the Aston Martin this week. This week, no Pope on the racetrack or in the commentary box as Ferguson gets a 5 place grid penalty for a collision with Cheese. So we just missed that then. Those to the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull coming together. Here comes Cheese here. Towards the last corner. And towards the line he comes. Can he set a better time? He can. 1 minute 23.817. So very close there. Shane rejoins the session in the Haas. And there is your returnee, Zach Sherman, in the Aston Martin, coming back to a role this season. And returning once again to the Aston Martin for his 4th season of competition. He's been racing, this is the 4th season he's competed in. And in now 3 of those seasons he's driven at least 1 race for Aston Martin, the exception being the Red Bull last season. As PJ Keller goes faster by about 3/10 in the McLarens. The intermediate tyres look to be faster right now. So the Mercedes of C110P fan can be a good place. Lucky Lambert goes faster again. 1 minute 23.5 on the wet. So it could go either way in terms of these opening times. But I see, of course, the track chooses to dry up later in the session. I'm not sure if we'll get wet weather for the race too. Of course, some of these circuits can be quite different beasts entirely when you throw a bit of rain on there. Cheese into the last corner here. 2 attempts down the exit of Sector 2. Out the last corner towards the line down the Red Bull. He goes faster again by almost half second in that final sector. So it all comes down to that last corner by the looks of things. Getting a lot of time there. Here comes Fan on his first qualifying run on those inters. Wet weather means he can't do his usual thing and set a banker lap on the mediums. You see the Aston Martin of Zach Sherman almost losing the back end of the car at the chicane. End of the first sector with 24.1. Cheese is behind him there, about 1/4 of a second down this previous effort. He's probably backed off for this one. Slow Ferrari there. Curtis now goes fastest in the Alfa Romeo, picking up the stead from his championship contending teammate. Curtis, 48 points off the top. He's had a solid season so far, but recent race has been quite able to challenge in terms of that championship fight. And Sniper Hunter with a win last time out in Spain, taking the first win he's ever had in the RDL. Looking to add a second if he can. I'd also never seen Curtis win before either. So a number of good names who in the rain could serve a threat. Of course, as we've seen so far in these first 8 races, Curtis has absolutely come alive. So he almost loses the back end off the right-hander. Zach Shannon towards the line. It's going to be a good time for him. On the third row, P5 for him. So that's 2 places in front of his teammate Dan. Next car has come to the line. Will not be C110P fan. It will be JB is invalidated. So BJ is one of the last 2 cars to set a lap. Half the pack has set laps so far. Waiting on the other half now. So the main fight here is for the championship so far between Sniper Hunter and TJ, as it's been for the majority of the season so far. As there he is, the return of the record 6-time champion of the RDL, Salve Grumio in the other Alpine. We've seen him race since he took home the win in Australia 5 weeks ago. So everyone else has made a lot of good points and put quite a distance to him while he's been away. And his presence on the racetrack again, the guy who I believe won this race last season, should help him in the race for the Constructors' Championship for Alpine, who sit behind Alfa Romeo right now. The extra points that Grumio can generate will be hopefully enough to get him back in the fight. Mercedes still there in third. Fan into the last corner again invalidated. That's 2 laps in a row now, and he has got to get that. He's got to get better. BJ there, 24.1 in the first sector. Solid start. So the AlphaTauri there, cutting across and rejoining the racetrack. That is Che. It's reserving tonight for Lycon. Because we'll have the track to get out of the way of BJ's coming through. Fan, 23.7 first sector. Now he's got to keep the lap valid this time around. That's the crucial thing. BJ 50.8 is second. Into the final intermediate now on the circuit. And towards the last corner. Bit of a wobble there on the steering of the chicane. But he's got away with it here. Charging towards the line. Looks like we're 1 minute 24 perhaps. 1 minute 24.242. Not a brilliant lap. We'll see what Fan can do. So Grumio there now on the leaderboard in your picture. 17 cars now in the session. So we're missing an Alfa Romeo, we're missing a Red Bull, and we're also missing the Haas. Here comes Fan towards the line. It's going to be close. Now for P5, very close to the top 10 right now. Top 9 all covered by within a second. And BJ 1.2 out the top. Fergie time slowing there to allow the Williams of Websy through. Websy in P11 right now on the Inters now for this run. And Grumio retired from the session. As Sniper Hunter goes fastest there. First 1 minute 22 of the night. I think that's a surefire sign the track is drying somewhat. So intermediate tyres might be the way to go in these last few runs. Oh, now he goes to the circuit. An end plate loss, which can mean a lot more. He's had to get the way with Alfa Romeo, had to move out his way. Curtis gets away okay, but he's down in the first sector now. We're looking to get word here on the retirement of Grumio, who's short of no one else at a lap will start dead last. Che there is that lap. Shane, JB and Cotney all in the pit lane right now. Grumio with a qualifying ban. And Websy in the Williams goes a lot faster there. And again, definitely the track is drying. Inters will be the weapon of choice here. As Fan goes second. Sniper Hunter's pole time all of a sudden left in the dust. Completely left in the dust by almost about 6/10 or so. As Cheese now goes second fastest. Fergie time starting his next lap on the wet tyres there. We'll see people start coming and change for Inters for their last runs. These guys are out there now, the right idea. Websy on pole right now. Comes Che here to start his lap. Was a contender for the win in this race last season. And PJ Keller goes second fastest in the McLaren. PJ running 6th in the championship right now, 57 points out of the lead. He will be the first mark on Grumio's hit list in terms of drivers to pass in the championship standings. Che, a bit of a tricky run there through the exit of the chicane. 23.0 in this first sector. I see one of the Williams cars coming towards the line. That'll be Websy. Into the pit lane there for what will be the second to last time, I assume. Pretty got time for another run. On the inside, wait for the track to dry a bit more. So who can get the track in the best conditions in the wet will be the one that has the best chance to get pole position, as long as they're on those intermediates. Che 48.8. His fan goes fastest there by 2/10. New Pulsar to C110P fan, of course. And Cheese goes fastest now too. First one 1 minute 20. It's not going to be dry enough for any dry tyres come into play. No slicks on offer, I think, for this qualifying session, but the Inters will definitely be the tyre of choice. Che towards the line. This could be a pole time here. Towards the line he goes. It's going to be close. Yes, he does get pole. 1 minute 20.5 there. Fantastic. Pick up PJ towards the line. Goes P3. And I see a Ferrari on the way through as well. That is Lucky Lambert, who set his first time on the wet. He was 3/10 up. Wonder why he stopped. Perhaps that has damage, not sure. No damage on the wing. Looks all okay. So confusing as to why he's chosen to come in. Perhaps going for a run on the Inters. Fergie time here through the chicane. Yellow flag down at the hairpin. Slow Red Bull letting the Alfa Romeo go. See what Fergie's time looks like here. 53.8. So it's a slow time here. And not sure what he was doing there. Got any Goblin now on his outlap. This is a chance here to try and get a good qualifying result for Williams. Of course, in real life, F1 have been on fire in recent weeks. Into the second sector then. Fergie time making a change onto Inters, I have no doubt. And that'll be the main tyre for the rest of the session. Waiting for JB to come out of the pit lane too. He's got a last run to do. 3 minutes to go in this session. So still enough time for him to get round. If they're lucky, try and go for 2 laps. Courtney then making his way through. We'll see the next cars come through to the line. That'll be Zach Sherman. On his return, charging towards the finish line. It'll be an improvement. It's P6 for him. And here comes Dan, P10 right now, but poor X in the last corner. Looking like 1 minute 22. Low 21. That's enough for P6, just in front of his teammate. Steinbunter, he was on pole earlier. He's now down to 8th. He's on his next outlap. As is Lucky Lambert, as is Courtney Goblin, as is about to be Fergie time, I assume. Might try and go as late as he can. BJ looking to improve here. 1.6 seconds up, but needs more. It's going to come down to the amount of speed you can build in that final sector. 2 minutes left to run. Sniper towards the line here to start what could be his final effort. Could perhaps get 2 in. And JB over the line. Sorry, that's Lucky Lambert going over the line to start what could be his final run. Here comes BJ. He'll have about 30 seconds left when we get to the line. Goes P5. Just in front of his teammate who's on his outlap. Next car through is Ethan here. He's 2 seconds up on his last effort. He can improve in this final corner. He's coming towards the line now. 1 minute 21, mid 21, P8. And there's the Red Bull of Cheese emerging onto the racetrack just behind the McLaren. Fan onto his final lap. Or what could be his final lap. He'll get 2 more. If he can set another 1 minute 21. Yellow flag. Slow JB. And he is away. For will be his final run. 1 minute to go. Any run you set now will be the last one. Chase invalidated. He's got a minute to get around to the line. Try and extend that advantage on pole position. PJ in his out lap. And Fergie time also on that lap. They haven't got long. As Sniper Hunter puts himself back on the front row again. Very close to pole. Jeez, that's 40 seconds to get around. Shouldn't be an issue. We're looking at Aston Martins in particular in terms of cars that can make it around in time. Dan not improving. Zach Sherman is, but he's invalidated his time. Lucky Lambert still there in third place, improving by a 10th there at the first sector. And Cheese will make it around in time to start his final lap. Just wait and see here. Yellow flag in sector 1 for a stopped AlphaTauri. Fan goes 5th. And Websy goes fastest again. Checker flag now falls on the session. Waiting now for the last few cars to come through to complete their laps. Here comes Zach Sherman. They'll stay P13. Cottony Goblin coming towards the line. Could be a good run for Williams here. Stays in P10. I may have just missed an invalidated lap there, so I could be wrong. JB is invalidated, so he will start in P17 for the race. Here comes Sniper Hunter. He's trying to reclaim pole position if he can. The championship leader off the final corner. And towards the line he comes. It's going to be 1 minute 19 perhaps. It's going to be close. He takes it. Pole position for Sniper Hunter. Lucky Lambert goes second. And PJ Keller goes 8th. Goes BJ towards the line. Oh, crash for the Alfa Romeo there. BJ goes 5th. Next car through will not be Chelova, who hasn't improved. Fergie still going here. No chance at pole for him. Looks like he'll stay P14 here. Here comes Cheese towards the line. Could be 1 minute 19 here. Will be 1 minute 19. He does take pole. Fan towards the line. Doesn't improve. Will improve, but stays P7. And that will settle it for qualifying. So Cheese at the end takes pole position with Sniper Hunter alongside. Very interesting end to qualifying. One car set on at 19s. Look at that top 4 for you. Cheese, Sniper, and Lucky Lambert and Websy. Those two dark horses for the run to the first corner. There's qualifying. We'll have a look through your top 10 before the race gets underway. There's JB, who will start last for the race. So Smoke and Cheese gets pole by just under half a second over Sniper Hunter. Lucky Lambert went to make up row 2. Che and BJ on row 3. Fan and Curtis on row 4. And PJ and Cottony on row 5. So that is your top 10 for the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. Round number 9 of the championship. We're back with you in a few minutes' time for the start. Here we go then. Formation underway for the Canadian Grand Prix. I've been told that there was a early restart courtesy of Fergie time, so we'll out him on the stream just as part of this punishment. You could be looking at a restart, but it seems like everyone's alright. Perhaps that might be alright to go. So Smoking Cheese then leads the field to the grid for a very sunny Canadian Grand Prix. Much different to the qualifying of a few minutes ago. I guess these cars run in some dry conditions as the last few cars take their places on the grid. Here we go then. 5 red lights here in Canada. And it's lights out, foot to the floor. Go, go, go. Great start for Cheese over Sniper going towards turn 1. Lucky Lambert might look to the inside if he can. Sniper holds both off Websy and Lucky for that first corner. Side by side the Williams and the Ferrari through turns 1 and 2. While the Ferrari going deep there in the background as Cheese gets away to a fantastic advantage over Sniper. Lucky takes third over Websy. Curtis up 3 places there. Up past BJ and Fan here. Both Mercedes losing out. Che and Connolly side by side. Chase lost 3 places at the start. Daniel Aaron runs at your top 10. You see his teammate Zach Sherman on his return to the RDL. Going for it. But there goes Grimio to his inside. Right up to into P13. Make that P12 for the 6th time the reigning champion. On the outside he goes. Charging back in front of Zach Sherman. And Grimio is back, ladies and gentlemen. And this field could be in for a masterclass over the next 35 laps. But as of right now, it is Cheese who leads. Sniper second and Lucky in third. Ferrari there closing on the Alpine as we head to the hairpin for the first time. You see Che go to the inside of BJ there. Oh, very close to contact. That's right, as Fan is going side by side with Fan. 20 points out the lead in the championship. Needs to get past Sniper before the end of this race. So Fan getting away here, using the battery to his advantage, using overtake on his Mercedes. There goes Lucky to the outside, very close to the wall there for the Ferrari. Tried to squeeze by, tried to thread a very tight needle, but couldn't quite do it as Cheese leads the first. So 35 laps to make up this Grand Prix. 3 drivers have been gained 3 places in the first lap. Curtis Shepard up by 3 into 5th. Dan up by 3 into 9th. And Grimio up by 3 into 11th. To come back to before though. Around the outside of Courtney Goblin on the exit. Pulling in front of the Williams. And getting clear before he didn't reach the chicane. Grimio into the points paying places for the first time today. Get to work now on starting to chase down Dan as Ethan gets a 3-second time penalty. Track limits hitting him hard on the opening lap here. Everyone's still in the lead packs. Fergie's falling back a bit there. 1.2 seconds the gap between Cheese and Sniper Hunter now. Lucky still there in third. Curtis and Fan will be the two ones you need to watch out for. And BJ as well. These guys have the opportunity to try and close some points. Fergie Tan gets a 3-second penalty now for multiple warnings. Not a good start from so far as Che again down the inside. Fan this thing makes the play stick. I think Grimmy might try to go for a move there on Cottony. Sorry, on Dan, but didn't get to go for it. Side by side, PJ and Zach Sherman on the run towards the World Champions. Once again, the final chicane. PJ pulls in front. See Courtney trying to gain the Alpine in front of him as they come through these last couple of corners. Track limits will be crucial in this race. We've seen 2 penalties there in the space of a few seconds. Poor X for PJ. Zach Sherman to the left-hand side. Sniper Hunt sets the fastest lap of the race. We're on lap number 3 now. And down the inside goes Zach Sherman up into 12th place. And DRS gets deployed by a race control for the first time today. There's your tyres. We didn't see the starting ones of the race, but those are tyres they started on. Even split here between the drivers in the field. We're looking at about 8 drivers on mediums, the remaining 12 all on hard. The remaining 9 on hard. Sorry, I'm still getting my maths wrong. We're looking at. Wait, am I right? I'm almost right. Oh, yellow flag, and that's Zach Seals and P-Fan around. The Mercedes falling back all the way to the tail end of the field now after spinning it. I assume he's finding the exit of the corner. Didn't quite catch it, so apologies there. Nevertheless, we continue on here. Zach Sherman and Connie Goblin side by side now for the final points paying place. Zach Sherman has him, but he's got the outside for the hairpin. Very good drive off from the Aston Martin. And PJ might try and take advantage too. He's got DRS to his name as well. Rear wing goes wide open on both just the McLaren, not the Williams. Connie Goblin under siege here. There goes JB. Might try and pull to the inside. Not going to go for it. Sniper Hunt sets the fastest up. He's now right there behind it. As you see the Williams go off the track there. Connie keeps it. He keeps his foot in it. It's PJ looking around trying to find an opening on Zach Sherman. Oh, perhaps a bit of contact there. Or someone getting loose between Daniel and Grimio. in the race for the 8th spot in the order. And Dan is already 3 seconds off the pace of Che in 7th. So the leader's really gotten away here. Che down the inside of BJ into the chicane. Looking to try and take both Mercedes in these first few laps. On the inside, it's very close between them. Both cars with DRS. BJ with a better drive off. Bit of contact between them. Banging tyres. And BJ stays in front as they go into the chicane, but it's very close between them. I dare say you could see Che go for a movement to the hairpin this time, like he has on fan. Pulls to the left-hand side this time. I see the outside looking in. Number 30 into the corner. It's going to be very tight between the two cars. On the outside, BJ really letting him have it there in terms of space. Both cars DRS once again. BJ using more of his overtake. Che looking to get good toe here to try and stay in front. Grumio not too close enough yet this time to go for it up front. Sniper Hunter closing on Cheese here. The championship leader will have to look to run out the pocket here and pull down to the inside if he can. Not enough for runs, go for it. Cheese maintains the lead. Lucky Lambert there in 3rd place, about a second off the 2 leaders as of right now. Webbsy's still in 4th, Curtis is still in 5th. Oh! It's terrible cars on the racetrack there. Both Dan and Grumio both off the circuit. Contact between them, pushing them both to near to the tail of the field. Grumio 5-second penalty, and that will make the reigning champions return a lot harder. Gets himself going again. Does he have damage? No front wing on that car, on the Aston Martin. Oh, there's contact again, and Grumio now has no front wing either. The 5 seconds, he might be able to serve in the pit lane, but it's going to be a very tough race from here on out for the 6-time champion, no matter how good he is. I don't see him coming back from that with several good cars in the field now. But neither one will be happy with the other at all here after an incident like that. I'm sure there'll be well-reasoned discussions from both parties there about just what happened going into turn 1, because that's where it all sort of kicked off. There'll be 2 more places for Fergie Time and Fan here. Snipe Hunter in all the chaos has moved into the lead in front of Cheese. Lucky Lambert there in 3rd place. Starting off Webbsy and Curtis. Now Che in 6th, pulling away from BJ. And down a 5-second penalty there. The race gets worse and worse for him for speeding in the pit lane. Grumio's in. The Alpine team getting to work after the 5 seconds being served. Dan is getting it right on it here. Medium tyres going on the car. Soft's going on Grumio's Alpine. Waiting for the wing change too. Dan is away. And now Grumio is away too. Zach Sherman, 3-second penalty there. A lot of penalties outside of the points. Only 1 car outside of those points playing places had one so far. That's T110P fan who got spun out a couple laps ago. Snipe Hunter now 6/10 clear, make that 6 or 9/10 clear of Cheese, who will have DRS once again. We could see a fantastic battle between these two in position. Cheese is closing the gap, but looking to it on the main straight. It all comes down to the exit at that last corner as they come down the main straight to complete lap number 6. Shane passing JB here for the race of P9s. These guys up into the points now thanks to all the action going on down the field. As Che passing Curtis to prepare them to go side by side. And Webb's just running outside of Lucky Lambert. Good exit from the Williams. And Lucky backs out of it. Keeps Che behind him. But he'll now have DRS for this next stretch and try and get him back. And Webbsy now on the podium but in trouble. Not a good exit at all for Lucky Lambert. Che might try and take advantage. Lucky using his battery to try and stay ahead here. It will work. Webbsy still in 3rd, looking to pull away. About half-second clear right now of Lucky. He'll have his hands full with the imposing AlphaTauri behind him. Off the corner they go. DRS redeployed once again for this little train. And Cheese closing the gap on Sniper here. He'll want a good run for that last corner. But that's where Sniper almost had him a few laps ago. Lucky with a poor exit. Che's all over him here. So pull to the inside. Lap 8 begins. Sniper then Cheese. 6.5 tenths separating them. And Grimmer now sets the fastest lap of the race. No soft tyres. 1 minute 12.4. It's better than everyone else. 1 minute 13 to everyone else. So it's clear he's on a run. And Fergie out of the pit lane as well. They're re-emerging back in P17. Grimmer want to try and make light work of Daniel this time, as opposed to how happened the first time round. That same scuffle would not want to be repeated by the driver. Off the last corner comes the two leaders, complete lap number 8 of this race. Into turn 1. She's not gaining too much right now. Those medium tyres on the Alpine are doing good for Sniper right now. As there goes Che around the outside of Websy. And I'm going to try and switch back to the inside. I'll make it work, but Websy stays in front. Race winner already this season in the Williams. As is Che, of course, won in Imola as a reserve. Sniper Hunter winning last time out. JB with a 3-second time penalty now for multiple warnings, and Ethan as well. Let's have a look at the penalty, shall we? As Curtis looks to make a move on Lucky Lambert, not going to quite make it this time. Grimio again with 11.9 this time, even faster. There's your penalty. 6 seconds for JB, 3 for Zach Sherman, 6 for Ethan, 3 for Courtney, 3 for Grimio, 8 for Daniel, and 6 for Fergie time. Back to a race for the lead here again. Sniper really pulling away. Cheese not really able to counter him right now. But if you can stay close to Sniper, he'll be the one on fast tyres at the end. But he goes into the pits now. Pulling in for an early stop perhaps. Websy now in second place. Sniper leads lap line. Goes on to lap number 10. 25 laps to go in this race. She's onto soft tyres now. Out of the pit lane he comes. Looks to emerge in P11. Perhaps even P10 if he can get good enough run. Not enough on the exit, but going towards the chicane. Might try and make a move on JB immediately. Backs out of it. Doesn't want to jeopardise himself right away. JB a bit of a poor exit there. Could Cheese go for it into the next chicane? Or get enough for Rumble. DRS maybe. There he goes to the inside, good exit out of the chicane. And Cheese now back in the points paying places now. Down another penalty for him, there goes Cheese to the outside now, that'll be inside for the hairpin on Zach Sherman, the Aston Martin. Cheese is last on the brakes, he can afford to be thanks to the tyres. As Che passes Websy for second. Bad exit for Websy. Che gets away now. He's got 4 seconds to close in on Sniper. No race for the lead. BJ to the inside of Curtis. Contact! And the Alfa Romeo very nearly spinning off the track, but saving it quite spectacularly there. Lucky Lambert on the inside. And Curtis now loses 2 places down to P6. Oh, it's contact! Oh, Lucky Lambert, sorry, spinning off. And a virtual safety car is deployed. Sniper's lead is brought down. So we wait now for the VRC to be undeployed and we get back to racing. Green flag again. Che the drive-through speeding under the Delta's caught him out. And Che now has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, which will allow Websy to come sliding back through and reclaim second position. Cheese passing Shane for P8 now. And Che will not serve that immediately. He's going to carry on for another lap. Sniper then in the world of his own right now. Nice and quiet. Cheese passing PJ now as well. So Cheese is on the move here. The gap to the leader for him right now, as it stands, is 14.8 seconds. And Grimmer, meanwhile, is not getting any closer as it stands. He's 27 seconds off of position. He's got another penalty there. It's not been a good race for him so far. He needs a safety car, something like that, to get himself back in the action. If he's fast enough, he could be fighting Lucky here in the next couple of laps or so, but he's on the fresh mediums now. We're getting to the point now, we're looking towards the first stops of this Grand Prix, and the track is starting to cloud over a bit here. Are these soft tyre runners holding off for rain perhaps? Lap 13, Websy passing Chase into the pit lane now for his drive-through. That'll be a crucial detriment to the AlphaTauri's team's chance of success today. If they drive already down in P17. There goes in the exit, down to P8, could be P9. Zach Sherman looking to make a move on JB, those two running a little train together. Che emerges just behind PJ and Shane. And Grimmy out of the race. He's pulling into the pit lane, that's it for him. Well, a sorry return here for the reigning champion of the series. And with Sniper in the lead, that'll put him even further back. We're looking at about 87, 88 points in the championship now. In terms of between him and the leader, which is his own teammate no less. Sad to see for Grimio there. Yellow flag on the racetrack as his AI comes back out into the racetrack. Websy 4.5 seconds behind. BJ there further 2.5 back. And there is Curtis running in 4th place. Cheese in 5th. Shane 6th, holding off Che and PJ in the process. And we're starting to see the first 3 drops of rain on the circuit now. Here we go. So we're about to see a mad dash for intermediates. How much is this race going to change? Have to wait and see. Sniper then just over 5 seconds clear of Websy. BJ in 3rd, Curtis 4th, closing in. So we'll see what the plans for Sniper. How early does he choose to pit? When he pits, might just dictate what some of those other drivers choose to do in terms of strategy. So he's like number 15 now this race. Che passing Shane here into the final chicane. PJ behind them. Curtis is about a second back here from BJ for 3rd. We'll be looking to try and score a podium if he can. Sniper has it all to himself right now. Nice and easy. Sniper then looking for the pit lane potentially this time round. Track's still not really wet enough as it stands, but could be going for early depending on how much it's gonna rain here, because you can definitely see it starting. Stays out again. We had this last week, a mid-race swap onto intermediates and a late stop for some drivers at the end, including Sniper, who used the strategy to advantage, pushed through and swiped the lead in the final lap. PJ Callow passing Shane here. He's going to disconnect from the session. Zach Sherman around JB. Bad exit from the Ferrari. The Aston Martin now pulling away. But still holding on to that last point. JB in 10th place in the standings right now. It's very close here between Websy, Badman and JB. As it stands right now then, it's looking more and more like Sniper will just increase his championship lead by quite a margin. With no TJ in the picture, Fan outside of the points, and Curtis down in 4th, already 48 back. BJ 3rd between but 49 back. PJ Khaled back in 7th, Grumio out of the race entirely. Batman not competing, and JB only just holding on to 1 point. We're about to see a monster lead here built from the second win of this driver here. If he can carry it on for the next 19 laps. Lap 17 begins. Curtis passing PJ here. For 3rd place, you can definitely see the rain a lot more on the screen now. Cheese around the outside. On those soft tyres, they've just done their bit. Let's see when he's looking to stop for those fresh inters. Cheese DRS deployed for him. Good exit from the Red Bull, closing now from all the time. And going towards the corner to be very close. Cheese is back onto the podium, but how long can he keep it? Because see Curtis still right there with him, despite those medium tyres being quite old. DRS deployed for the Alfa Romeo then. Down the straight towards the last chicane. Closing a gap slightly on Cheese, but not enough just yet. JB passing Zach Sherman. Into the last chicane, shame of the penalty. Zach right behind him now. But not good exit at all though, JB getting away from P9. Scampering off into the distance. Trying to go and passing Sion SMP fans in the pit lane there. Went for a wing change and a set of inters going in the car. So he's the first one to bite the bullet. Lap 18 then, just over the halfway mark. Found the first car out on those inters. Yellow flag, sets 2. And that is Che who's gone who's made a mistake. Down to second place, down from 2nd down to 10th now. And he's struggling on those more mediums. I think that'll be the sign for us coming to the pit lane here. Fergie time is in, Dan has been in. Fan is in, he's been in. Sniper stays out. What is he staying out? Cheese staying out, Curtis coming in. It's the end of his first stint then. Looking to go longer, if not the same length in the second one. Change been made from the Alfa Romeo team, sorry. Curtis is away. Silver cast here. PJ cutting this in. JB's onto intermediates. PJ also. PJ has medium tyres. Got the golden 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Williams pit box in the end. And here's away. It's Connie Goblin emerges from the pit lane. Again, waiting that top 5 to enter the pits. 4.4 seconds to gap between Sniper and Websy. A Sniper into the pit lane here. So if Deal Spoons, what is he trying to do? Why is he going to stay out here for a bit longer? See if he can gain anything from staying out. Sniper Hunter onto Inters. Nice and smooth stop from the team. Cheese in for those soft tyres onto Inters. Che with the penalty down to P12 now. Curtis staying out after pitting this lap. Shane with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane now too. Curtis has passed Zach. Can he get Cheese 2? He can get Cheese 2. Sniper Hunter in third then. Websy then BJ, your top two. 8.2 seconds covering the pair of them. $15 laps to go and across the line. And the rain is still beating down here at the circuit as Joe Villeneuve waits to find out who will win the 9th race of the season. How long can he stand those Honda's hard tyres and how long can BJ go for those mediums? I mean, he's already taken them quite far so far. Sniper Hunter in second place now, just in front of BJ. Fantastic overtake. They'll start chasing down the leaders. Or the leader, rather. Websy yet to make his first stop. Had to stop onto the intermediate at the end. Still raining on the circuit. Not enough for wets just yet. There you go, 3 cars yet to make their stop. Zach Sherman, BJ and Websy. Courtney Goblin passing Ethan for P13 down the field. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Into turn 2 they go. Williams running outside the McLaren. It's over as quickly as it begun. Everyone quite spaced out now. No one really going for it. The closest battle right now is between JB and PJ. Save for Ethan and Courtney, which just ended. See if JB goes for anything this time. We'll see if Fan catches up. JB closing in, DRS about to be deployed. And down the main straight they go. Fans to the inside, into the final chicane. It's been very, very tight between them. Zach Sherman, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. In turn 1, you see JB holding off PJ as Fan passes Zach Sherman in the pit lane. May still on the soft tyres here, so no one thinking it's wet enough yet for the Inters in terms of these drag tyre runners. We'll see what Cheese and Websy plan to do. Cheese passing BJ. Into chicane, then 3-car train there. Cheese leads BJ, leads Curtis. Right behind these two on fresh Inters. There he goes to the outside and out braking the Mercedes there. PJ Kello, 3-second time penalty here for multiple warnings. Those track limits are absolutely killing these guys. We've got 9 drivers in the field of the 17 with time penalties. Zach Sherman gets another one there. 3 drivers with 11 seconds. Shane, Zach and Courtney. There's 2 9s, sorry. 1 of Fergie and 1 for JB. There's 3 6s, Che, Ethan and Dan. And there's 1 3, which is Grimio. Excuse me, sorry, that is not Grimio, that is PJ Khaled. Grimio's out of the race at this point. Sniper Hunter now has Websy on his tail, having taken the race lead away. Che, 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Webb's almost 2 seconds back now from Sniper. Looks on course for a second win in as many races this season. Looking to further increase his championship lead to 29, if not 30 points over TJ. Building an unassailable advantage as we head to Austria next week, which will be on the 11th of September. And after that, we go to the 18th for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone won last season by Che, who sits inside the points right now, closing on C110P fan, 1 second behind him here. Going towards the DRS zone. No DRS in play yet. The race control not deeming it dry enough to go for it. It's still raining a bit on the circuit. Yellow flag. Off the last corner, that's a stricken Mercedes looks of it. BJ in the pit lane. Sorry, maybe just missed that. Maybe we're looking in the wrong place. But regardless, BJ in the pit lane. No one retiring, so we're good to continue on. Shane and BJ side by side. Sorry, no, that's Zach Sheldon and BJ side by side on the exit turn 2. Aston Martin nips in front, but BJ will try and fight back here through the chicane. Let's make the way through towards the end of the first sector and the first chicane in the second sector. Oh, it taps the wall there for Zach Sherman. No end plate damage. He's lucky to keep it in condition. And BJ goes charging on the inside. The good run. There's a bit of contact there. Maybe a bit of wheel bang in there, but it's actually right over the curb. And Shane now taking over P11, 1 place away from the points. DRS deployed now for Shane. But up front, see Cheese and Curtis going at it. Sorry, in the pit lane, they're making their stops. And the track has stopped raining. Stopped raining over the track rather. Sniper now has a 20-second lead. Will his medium hold out? We reached the last 10 laps of this Grand Prix now. It's gone by quite quickly here. No safety car to speak of. Going back onto the soft tyres. Looking at a medium or soft sprint to the finish line here. It's going to be a very close back to Fort Grand Prix indeed at the end. We'll see what the gap looks like with Sniper when he emerges in the pit lane. Doesn't seem like they can't go for a set of soft tyres at the end, but have to put us go for a set of mediums. Lucky Lambert's been on these mediums for 13 laps already. Taking them 23 to jump to the end, which I feel like he might try and do. Sniper coming towards the pit lane now. Thought could be his final stop of this Grand Prix. And really shutting down the gap as Websy passing Lucky Lambert. Now here comes Sniper into the pit lane for be his second and last stop of the race. Soft tyres going on. Here we go then. And Websy closing in all the time, but perhaps might not reach Sniper in time. That pit entry is more or less just after they cross the line to go to turn 1. Websy at the last corner. There he is in the background of your screen. And there's Sniper going charging through before Websy even reaches the first corner. Sniper back on the racetrack, holds on to the lead. He's about 3 seconds clear of Websy. Make that 3.6. Make that hold on to 3.6. And now Websy have got work to do as she's passing Lucky Lambert. The match I think it's got a penalty there. So the top 3 right now, no penalties to their names. Sniper, Websy and Cheese. Zach Sherman gets a penalty though. Down in P8. There are 6 cars still running without a single one in this race. Ethan getting 3 seconds now. Down in P13. Hasn't been a brilliant race for McLaren, but PJ's up there still in P5. Well, the penalty situation will change that. I have to wait to see. And as of right now, it looks like Curtis will take P4 as it stands, so he won't lose out to Lucky or PJ unless he gets a penalty of his own. And Dan gets one now too. DRS for Curtis. And Websy here trying to close the gap up front. PJ looking to try and take Cheese. Still trying to take Lucky Lambert. Websy is 2.5 seconds behind as PJ goes side by side with Lucky for the lead into the first corner. They come very close to contact. I thought Curtis was going to try it on the inside there, but has the outside for turn 2. on the outside of Lucky Lambert and into the 5th place, the Alfa Romeo. It gets work on passing PJ now. Curtis, now a penalty of his own. And the burden now falls to BJ. Has a chance to finish 4th in this race if he can get a few more attempts. Which means these two will be racing for 5th. On equal playing field. Fergie time, 3-second penalty. It's 4th of the race. Ethan has also got 12 seconds to his name. They're in the final 8 laps now. There goes Curtis to the inside. Gets in front. Can PJ come fighting back? No, he can't. No DRS for him. Good toe though. We would stick with the AlphaTauri. The Alfa Romeo, sorry. Into the final corner they go. Curtis holding on. Cheese with the fastest up there. 11.967. And the gap is closing in. Websy and Cheese are closing in. Could we see a three-way race for the lead in the closing laps of this race? Chase sets the fastest up now. Back inside the points. But for how long? Thanks to those 9 seconds. Fan looks to be in position trying to snatch a number of places. Gets back in front of Chain now. 14 seconds back showing Chain. The gap is closing here. 1.3 seconds now. Give it a lap. The curve DRS. In what could has potentially be a very close 4th encounter in the last few laps of this Grand Prix. With 7 to go when Snipe crosses the line. Cheese needs a good run. There's your tyres. 10 drivers on the softs and 6 on the mediums. Chain another penalty. Courtney Goldman disconnecting there in P15. And Zach showing now the penalty too. 5 drivers that one right now. And make that 4. Websy's racing a lot harder now. DRS not to his name yet, and he's got 3 seconds of penalties. And now Cheese looks to be in second. Websy will not let Cheese go without a fight here. Sniper in a very good spot, short of a penalty of his own, which can happen. And Shane out of the race here. And the safety car is deployed for a crash there at the exit of the chicane. And all of a sudden, this race gets a whole lot more interesting as Cheese pits and out for a fresh set of softs. And down the drive-through for speeding under the safety car. And Cheese onto Inters. Is there rain returning to the circuit in these last few laps? Yes, it is. The rain is back. Che with a drive-through now. And I remember they can't serve those under the safety cars. Fergie gets one as well. They can't serve those under a safety car, so they'll have to wait till it comes back in to get to racing, which means say goodbye to any late chance of points for those guys. And the rain's starting to hit now. Sniper and Webb's taking a risk here. May have shot themselves in the foot. And they will lose track position now if they pit. About C5 laps in the rain. So what's these guys choose to do? I mean, there's quite a big gap to Che in P8 compared to Lucky in P7. So they might try and get away with it. We'll have to see then. What do they choose to do? Waves into the pit lane. Sniper staying out. Differing decisions being made between the two leaders. Websy sacrificed his track position here for a chance to score a solid finish. To be on fresh over for the restart. Will it get wet enough though for the engines to really come into play? Because Sniper, the track looks quite dry to him right now. There's still a lot of dry spots on the racetrack. But it is raining without doubt. Cheese now and Zach and Curtis third. Waiting now for the pack to come through. Under the safety car so we can go back to racing. 3 drive-throughs then. Che, Fergie Time and Daniel Aaron, sorry. All in pit lane when the safety car comes back in. Sniper leads then. It all comes down to a late race restart. I think it'll be 3 laps to go when we get the green flag. She's going to get on with it now. Just getting the tyres up to temperature. We'll keep an eye on your tyres at the restart. Again, split between the softs and the inters. It definitely is raining without doubt. How much? Not enough by the looks of it for those tyres come into effect. Perhaps they're necessarily winning over these last few laps. Perhaps they're banking on the rain, coming a bit earlier and a bit harder than expected. Trying to win this one in dreary conditions here in the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. So 15 cars still in the race. And I think at this stage we can say goodbye to several cars won't stand a chance to win this thing. Obviously the drive-through runners, Ethan, JB and Zach Sherman all with penalties. These are the 2 favourites here. On different tyres. One set fresh than the others by quite a few laps. 2 very fantastic drivers as well. And we'll see what they choose to do on this final restart. I'll get the message this time for the safety car to come in. Currently going with the last car straight to the back of the train, so we'll probably get in the hairpin. And there it is. Here we go then. Safety car is in this lap. 3 laps on the side of this Canadian Grand Prix. It could be 2 wins on the trot for Sniper Hunter. It could be the first win in the league for Smoke and Cheese. It could be the first for Curtis. If there's a penalty, it would be unlikely. And the rain is starting to fall now. Sniper could be in trouble if he doesn't build a lead. And everyone all there in one big gaggle of cars, waiting, itching to get back on the way again. When the Sniper leads away, there he goes, he's away. And he's pulled away quite nicely indeed, perhaps not nice enough. Soft-tired Alpine now away to lead us on to the third to the last lap of this race. Back on the way here in Montreal. There's your penalties there, keep an eye on those. BJ on the outside of PJ. And Lucky behind them. Oh, contact! Ethan, 5 seconds for ignoring the yellow flag. And BJ gets through for 4th. Lucky to the inside, contact again, hit by the Williams and the AlphaTauris. A huge mess back there. Zach Sherman gets his wing knocked, parts of his end plate knocked off, as does Fan. Several cars now falling away. Sniper's out to a 1.3 second lead, but DRS are not being able just yet. And I think the choice to stay out might have just paid off for him. Having the inters is brilliant, but only really works when the track's really wet. We're starting to see the first bits falling on the circuit now, so it could be a bit more spray getting kicked up in these last few laps. And with Sniper's soft tyres running out That's where we'll start to struggle as Cheese gets a penalty there. 3 seconds. And short of 2 penalties and 2 laps for Sniper. This race could be his. Several cars in serving their drive-throughs then. JB to the outside of Zach Sherman into turn 1. He's already tussled with Aston Martin today. Don't want to tussle with 2. Or tangle with them at least. Dan and Fergie making their changes in for their drive-throughs. Chaser went to serve 2. JB the penalty now. One of the ones add to his name. Fergie time, 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit white line. Very slow on the exit. Sniper, 2 seconds clear. Into the hairpin he goes. BJ to the inside of Curtis from a long way back. They come close to contact. Side by side, they bang wheels that time. Unlucky, right on the tail of both of them now. I'm assuming there'll be no DRS for this last lap, which will make Cheese's job a lot harder. BJ to the outside of Curtis. The Alfa Romeo holds him off. A Sniper starts the final lap of the race. DRS is deployed. These guys got to get one more run down each DRS straight in the race on the podium. And Che disqualified for ignoring the drive-through. The race is over for him. Curtis 3 seconds, yellow flag, and that is Dan. I think going slowly. It may have been Fergie, not sure. Oh no, yellow flag up here, sorry. Whatever it is, been cleared now. And Sniper looks like he's heading for victory, but Cheese is closing in on him. Quite rapidly here too. Remember, Cheese needs 3 seconds or a late penalty for Sniper in order to win and have a chance to win this race. We've seen it get thrown away at the final corner before. Think back to season number 12. Curtis gets BJ for third. BJ will finish third after the penalties are applied. No DRS for Cheese. Sniper needs to take a calling through the last chicane now to bring it home. And he does just that. Here comes Sniper Hunter then. The Alpine team on the pit wall. As the checker flag flies, Sniper Hunter wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Cheese home in second place. Here comes Curtis holding off BJ and Lucky for third and fourth. BJ got third on the podium. Curtis fourth, Lucky fifth, Fan sixth in the end. PJ in seventh. Websy takes home eighth. Connie Goblin ninth. Good double points for Alpha Tower, for Williams, sorry. And Aston Martin, Zach Sherman on his return takes the final points paying position in P10. And that left a very exciting final lap, which was so close in the end. Sniper Hunter wins it. Second win of the season for the championship leader, and he could not have asked for a better result tonight. He gained a lot of ground then on those drivers there. So Curtis comes home in fourth. Fan comes home a few places back. I think he was in sixth, I said. No sign of TJ. I'm not sure who got fastest lap in the end. Let's have a look at that. It's a brilliant Grand Prix driven by every single one of our drivers in the field today. Especially at the end there. Very defensive drive from a number of cars. And there you have it then. Your winner once again for the second time in 2 weeks. Sniper Hunter takes it. Another lap though, it could have been Cheese's. A late display of fantastic driving. And if he got a penalty right there, that could have been the race for him. But Sniper wins it. Have a look at your top 10 then. So Sniper wins it then from Cheese, then BJ on the podium. Curtis 4th, Lucky Lambert in 5th. C110P Fan 6th, PJ 7th, Websy 8th, Courtney Goblin 9th, and Zach Sherman takes the final points on offer. It's Ethan 11th, JB 12th, Dan in 13th, Fergie Time 14th on the 3 DNFs. Shane and Grimio, who both retired from the race, and Che was disqualified. Go on to the last lap because he didn't serve that drive-through penalty. Well, there you have it then. That is your result for the RDL Canadian Grand Prix. Round number 9 of the championship is brought to a close. move ahead to next week's race, which will be held at the Austrian Grand Prix, the Red Bull Ring circuit. So until next time, that'll be on the 11th of September, same time, same place, here on the Zach RC channel at 7 PM. Here to take you through all the action. And until then, until our next encounter in the Styrian Hills, goodbye for now, and we shall see you next Monday. Good night, everyone.